Chosen one, there is a power that rises in those who see what others refuse to see. You carried warnings inside you long before the evidence was visible. You spoke the truth even when people dismissed you, even when they laughed at you, even when they thought you were exaggerating. But now, everything is unfolding just as you said it would. The same people who once ignored your voice are now watching the ground beneath them collapse. What they thought they could control is slipping away, and what they built without truth is crumbling before their eyes. This is not revenge. It is confirmation that you were aligned with a higher vision all along. They thought they were unshakable. They believed their power was permanent, that their structures could withstand anything. But you saw the cracks forming. You felt the imbalance, the deception, the weight of falsehood pressing down on their foundations. And you warned them. You told them that what is built on lies cannot last, that what is held together by manipulation will eventually fall apart. They chose not to listen, but now reality is proving you right. This is the moment when your words echo louder than their denial, when your vision stands taller than their pride. Chosen one, understand that your to see what others cannot is not a weakness. It is your strength. The reason you felt misunderstood was because you were ahead of them, already walking in the truth that they were not ready to face. You carried insight that made them uncomfortable, not because you were wrong, but because you were right. And now, as their world trembles, your confidence must rise. This is your season to embrace the fact that you are not ordinary. You are a carrier of truth, a vessel of clarity, and the proof that ignoring warnings has consequences. But this moment is not just about them. It is also about you. Their collapse is a reminder that your vision matters, your words matter, your intuition matters. You are not to shrink back, doubting yourself because others refuse to hear. Instead, you are to rise in boldness, knowing that time always reveals what truth already declared. You do not need validation from those who ignored you. Their crumbling is the validation. You were right to stand firm, right to speak, right to trust what you carried inside. Chosen one, the beauty of this season is that their unraveling creates space for your rise. Where their false structures fall, authentic ones can be built. Where their control ends, your freedom begins. Where their pride collapses, your humility is lifted higher. This is not about celebrating their downfall. It is about stepping into the space that opens when illusions break. You are not defined by their mistakes, but by your resilience. And now the world is beginning to see that resilience in full display. Their crumbling is not your responsibility. You did not cause it. You only saw it coming. You warned them, and now the natural outcome has arrived. That outcome is not your burden to carry. Your focus is on what lies ahead. While they scramble to hold on to what cannot be saved, you are free to build something lasting, rooted in truth, aligned with strength, and destined to endure. This is your moment, not because they are falling, but because you are standing. Chosen one, when you see their power slipping through their fingers, you are witnessing the natural consequence of ignoring truth. For a long time, they believed you were exaggerating, dramatic, or even wrong. Yet everything you sensed has come to light. The plans they built without integrity are collapsing. The authority they clung to is dissolving. The certainty they projected is fading. You warned them, but they refused to listen. Now, as the weight of their denial crushes them, your strength and clarity shine brighter than ever. This is not about vengeance. This is about vindication. It is proof that what you carry is real, and it is undeniable. Chosen one. Before we continue deeper into this revelation, I invite you to stay with this message until the very end. In the final moments, There are powerful words meant to unlock something within your spirit. And when this video is complete, I ask you to write your most sincere wishes in the comments and add the number 777 beside them. This act is more than symbolic. It is intention set in motion, energy aligned with the universe, a declaration that you are ready to receive. And make sure you subscribe, because this is more than content. It is a community of awakening, built for those who are chosen to rise higher than before. Now look closely at what is happening. Those who once moved with arrogance are stumbling. Those who thought their influence could never be shaken are scrambling to hold on. Those who used their voice to silence others are now struggling to be heard themselves. This is not coincidence. It is collapse. And collapse always follows when pride builds without truth, when control is pursued without wisdom, when warnings are dismissed. You were the messenger of what was to come, and now your words echo through the ruins of their broken plans. Chosen one, let this moment fuel your confidence. You are not someone who sees things by chance. You are someone with vision, someone who hears the whisper of truth long before it becomes visible. This is why your warnings matter, even when they are ignored. Because eventually, time exposes everything. And when it does, those who once doubted you will remember what you said. You are living proof that ignoring the chosen voice carries consequences. But do not let this season harden your heart. Their crumbling is not your victory to gloat over. It is a lesson to carry with wisdom. When truth prevails, it does so not to humiliate, but to cleanse, not to destroy, but to rebuild. Their collapse is the stage being cleared, and you are being prepared to step forward. The fall of falsehood is the rise of authenticity. The end of manipulation is the beginning of clarity. Their breakdown marks the opening for your breakthrough. Chosen one, this is your time to embrace boldness. No longer should you question your instincts. No longer should you silence your warnings. No longer should you shrink in the face of disbelief. You have seen the evidence unfold. Your words carried weight. Your vision carried power. Your warnings carried truth. You warned them first, and now they are crumbling. Let this be your reminder that your voice matters, your insight is real, and your calling cannot be denied. Chosen one, the truth that once lived only inside you is now undeniable. They are crumbling, not because of your anger, not because of your desire for justice, but because of the unshakable law that what is built on deception cannot stand. You warned them, you pointed out the cracks, and they chose to ignore you. Now the cracks have become fractures, and the fractures have become collapse. What you carry is clarity, and that clarity has proven stronger than their illusions. Do not underestimate the importance of this moment. You lived through seasons where your voice was dismissed, where your perspective was rejected, where your insight was treated as noise. But today, you stand in the evidence that you were never wrong. You were ahead. You carried the truth before others could recognize it. And though it cost you loneliness at times, though it brought ridicule, though it made you the outcast, now it positions you as the one who saw clearly. Their downfall is not your doing. It is the natural response to truth being ignored. Chosen one, this moment is also about how you rise from here. You have been vindicated, but vindication is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of boldness. You are not just the one who warned. You are the one who must now step forward as an example of what happens when truth is honored. Let this season teach you confidence. You are not fragile. You are not mistaken. You are not small. You are aligned with a vision that goes deeper than appearances, and that makes you unshakable. You warned them first, and now they are crumbling. But do not let their fall be your focus. Let your rise be. Every second you spend watching their downfall is a second you could spend building your future. Their collapse is a mirror, but your destiny is a window. Look through it. See the opportunities waiting, the doors opening, the path clearing. You are free to move forward without resistance, because the very structures that tried to silence you are breaking apart. Chosen one, your role was never to control them, it was to speak truth. And you did. That is why this season feels so powerful. You fulfilled your role, and now the evidence is undeniable. From this point forward, carry yourself with the confidence of someone whose voice carries weight. Do not shrink again when others laugh. Do not silence yourself when others doubt. Do not retreat when others resist. You have seen what happens when warnings are ignored. Now live as proof of what happens when truth prevails. And here is something vital to remember. Their collapse is not just about them. It is about everyone watching. There are people who saw you speak, saw you warn, and saw you dismissed. Now those same people are watching the collapse. They are realizing you were right, that your vision was sharp, that your words had power. This is influencing them too. They are learning that ignoring truth has consequences, and listening to wisdom brings life. In this way, your vindication becomes a lesson for many. Chosen one, hold your head high. You are not standing in ruins. You are standing in revelation. You are not defined by their fall. You are defined by your rise. Let this chapter mark the beginning of confidence you will carry for the rest of your life. You warned them, and now they are crumbling. The story could have ended there, but for you, it is only the beginning. Chosen one, the power of your vision is becoming undeniable. For a long time, they thought their structures, their control, their systems could not be touched. But what you are witnessing now is the collapse of something that never had a stable foundation to begin with. You warned them. You spoke with conviction. You revealed what was hidden, and they ignored you. Yet now, truth is speaking louder than their arrogance. Their world is shaking. Their confidence is evaporating. Their control is slipping. And you stand firm, not because you sought their downfall, but because you stood in alignment with truth. This moment is not one of revenge, but of revelation. You do not need to look at them with bitterness or even satisfaction. You simply need to understand that this is the confirmation of everything you already knew. You were not mistaken, not delusional, not dramatic. You were carrying a higher awareness, and now the evidence stands before everyone. They are crumbling because they refuse to listen, and you are rising because you dared to believe what you carried within. Chosen one, it is vital that you do not allow yourself to shrink back into the old habit of doubt. You may still hear the echo of their voices, the ones who dismissed you, who ridiculed you, who said you were wrong, but the collapse of their control is the silencing of those echoes. Let the ruins of their certainty remind you of your strength. You spoke first, you saw first, you knew first. Do not doubt yourself now. Walk boldly in the authority you have been given, because this season has revealed you were prepared for more than survival. You were prepared for influence. There is a unique freedom in this moment. You are no longer held back by their denial. Their rejection cannot limit you anymore, because their own collapse has proven your voice true. This is your invitation to step into a greater confidence. Speak without fear. Act without hesitation. Believe without restraint. You warned them, and now as they crumble, you have no reason to question the power of what you carry. The time for hesitation is over. The time for boldness has begun. Chosen one, notice how your presence feels different now. Where once you were overlooked, now you are being noticed. Where once your words were dismissed, now they echo with weight. Where once you stood alone, now people are remembering what you said and realizing you were right. Their eyes are shifting toward you, not because you forced them to, but because the truth you carried has become impossible to ignore. This is not about seeking validation. It is about realizing you already have it. Their collapse is the evidence. Your endurance is the proof. So what comes next? You rise. You rebuild. You lead. Their downfall clears the way for your destiny. The very things they tried to control are being released, and you are being positioned to step into opportunities that once seemed closed. Do not waste time staring at their collapse. Keep your eyes forward. Every brick that falls from their crumbling tower is a sign that space is opening for you to build something authentic, lasting, and unshakable. Chosen one, never forget this. Your warnings were never wasted. Even when they ignored them, they carried weight. And now, as their reality proves your words true, you have been vindicated. But vindication is not the end of your story. It is the fuel for your next chapter. You are stronger, wiser, and more confident than before. You warned them, and now they are crumbling. This is not the end. It is your beginning. Chosen one. The more their world falls apart, the clearer your strength becomes. For so long, they believed they could control the outcome, manipulate the narrative, and silence the truth. But now their walls are cracking, their masks are slipping, and their certainty is dissolving. You warned them, but they ignored the warning. You spoke the truth, but they closed their ears. And now, everything they thought was indestructible is collapsing in front of them. Their downfall is not your revenge. It is your confirmation. It proves that you were aligned with a vision greater than their pride. Do not let yourself underestimate what this means for you. You are not standing here by accident. Every word you spoke, every warning you gave, every instinct you trusted was a reflection of the gift you carry. Your ability to see through illusions is not common. It is rare, powerful, and deeply needed. They may have laughed at you then, but now they are silent, because the truth has spoken for itself. This is your vindication. This is the moment that affirms you were never wrong to trust what you felt deep inside. Chosen one, this season requires you to hold your head higher. The collapse of their control is not the end of the story. It is the clearing of the stage for you to step forward. The world needs the kind of strength you carry, the kind of insight that sees through lies, the kind of courage that speaks when silence feels safer, the kind of resilience that endures until truth is revealed. You are proof that it is possible to stand firm even when others doubt, and you are proof that in the end, truth always wins. Do not be surprised if new doors begin to open now. Opportunities that were once blocked will begin to flow toward you. People who once overlooked you will start to seek you out. Even those who dismissed you may remember your words and realize their weight. But do not let their sudden attention sway you. Remember that your worth was never tied to their approval. Their recognition is just confirmation, but your strength was always within you. Walk with confidence, knowing you do not need validation to be powerful. Chosen one, your story is a message. When others look at you, they see someone who stood firm, someone who carried warnings when no one else believed, someone who endured rejection and ridicule but did not fall. And now, they see you standing while those who mocked you are collapsing. That testimony alone will inspire others. People will remember your resilience and find courage for themselves. Your story will teach them that even when ignored, the truth cannot be silenced forever. And as for you, it is time to live differently. Do not carry the habits of someone trapped in endless struggle. You are not in survival anymore. You are in victory. Their collapse is the closing of an old chapter, and your life is the opening of a new one. Invest your energy not in watching them fall, but in building something real. Use this moment to remind yourself that you were born to lead, born to rise, born to embody the strength that others doubted. Their crumbling is a signal. The season of being overlooked is finished. Chosen one, let this truth echo in your heart. You warned them, and now they are crumbling. Not because you forced it, but because truth always breaks through. You are not defined by their fall. You are defined by your ability to rise. and this is your season to rise higher than ever before. Chosen one. What you are witnessing now is the unraveling of everything they tried so hard to keep hidden. For years, they built walls of illusion, convinced themselves their control could not be broken, and believed their influence was untouchable. But you saw through it long before anyone else. You warned them that truth cannot be buried forever, that power built on lies will always collapse, and now the evidence is before your eyes. They are crumbling, not because of chance, but because you were aligned with truth from the very beginning. It is important for you to understand that their downfall is not about punishment. It is about exposure. What was hidden is being revealed. What was suppressed is being released, and what was false is being torn down. They may have believed their masks would never slip, but every mask cracks under the weight of time. You sensed it long ago, and that is why your voice carried urgency. Even when others dismissed you, your words planted seeds. Now those seeds are sprouting, and the harvest is collapse. Chosen one, this is your moment to embrace the strength you carry. Your ability to see beyond appearances is rare, and your courage to speak truth is even rarer. For too long, you questioned yourself, wondering if your warnings were worth it, wondering if anyone truly understood. Now you have the proof that you were never mistaken. The collapse unfolding around them is confirmation that your intuition is sharp, your vision is clear, and your spirit is aligned. Let this strengthen your confidence, because it is not just about being right. It is about being chosen to carry clarity in a world of confusion. Do not focus on their fall as your victory. Focus on what their fall means for you. It means the atmosphere has shifted, the weight has been lifted, and the path has been cleared. Where once their control blocked your movement, now space has been made for you to rise. Where once their influence overshadowed you, now your light shines without interference. Where once they laughed at your warnings, now your words echo as undeniable truth. This is your moment to build, to lead, to step fully into your destiny. Chosen one, notice how different you feel now. The doubt that once lingered in your mind is fading. The hesitation that once kept you silent is breaking. The fear that once held you back is dissolving. Their collapse is not only external, it is internal confirmation for you. Every brick of their crumbling tower is a reminder that your spirit was aligned with truth all along. And now, you are free to walk in boldness, no longer weighed down by the disbelief of others. This season is not about watching ruins. It is about building foundations. Take the lessons from this moment and use them to strengthen your journey. Do not waste time questioning whether your voice matters. You have the evidence that it does. Do not doubt whether your vision is real. The proof is all around you. Do not shrink when others resist. Time will always reveal the truth you carry. You warned them, and now they are crumbling. That is all the validation you will ever need. Chosen one, walk forward with a new kind of confidence. You are not here to linger in the shadows of their downfall. You are here to rise in the light of your own calling. Let their collapse be the backdrop that highlights your strength. Let their denial turning to silence remind you that your persistence was never wasted. And most importantly, let this moment be the turning point where you finally accept that you were always enough, always powerful, always chosen. Chosen one, every day that passes makes it clearer. You were never speaking in vain. Your words were not wasted air. They were truth spoken ahead of time. You warned them, not because you wanted their downfall, but because you carried foresight. And now, as their walls collapse and their pride dissolves, the very thing you said is unfolding. They are crumbling, not by your hand, but by the weight of their own choices. And in this moment, your strength, your vision, and your clarity shine brighter than ever before. It can be tempting to wonder why they didn't listen. Why, after all the signs, after all the chances, after all the warnings, did they persist? The answer is simple. Arrogance blinds. When people are convinced of their own control, they cannot see the storm approaching. They believed themselves untouchable, while you saw their cracks forming. That is the power of being aligned with truth. It allows you to see what pride refuses to acknowledge. And now, their downfall is not only a lesson for them, but also a reminder to you that your insight is rare and valuable. Chosen one, never again should you doubt your own voice. Never again should you second-guess your intuition. The very thing they dismissed has now been confirmed. You carried the wisdom that others could not handle, and though they resisted it then, the outcome has proven you right. Let this build an unshakable confidence within you. You are not ordinary. You are not fragile. You are not someone whose words should be overlooked. You are chosen to see further, to speak boldly, to carry light where others prefer darkness. And as they crumble, understand that their fall is not your focus. It is your release. Their collapse means the obstacles that once blocked your path are disappearing. Their control, which once tried to silence you, is breaking. Their influence, which once overshadowed your presence, is fading. The space is opening for you to step into your rightful place. Do not waste energy staring at their ruins. Invest that energy in building your future. Every crack in their foundation is a doorway for you to rise higher. Chosen one, your life is about to change in ways you cannot yet imagine. People who once doubted you will remember your warnings. Situations that once rejected you will now align with you. Opportunities that were once hidden will now appear. This shift is not random. It is the direct result of truth breaking through. Their crumbling is evidence that the atmosphere has changed, and you are standing in the center of that shift. Carry yourself with boldness now. You do not need to convince anyone of your worth. You do not need to prove your power. The proof is already visible in the collapse of what they tried to build without truth. Let your confidence rise. Speak with clarity. Walk with strength. Stand in peace. You warned them, and now the evidence of your vision surrounds you. That is enough. That is more than enough. Chosen one, this season is about stepping out of survival and into destiny. The time for questioning is over. The time for rising has come. They are crumbling because they resisted the truth, but you are rising because you embraced it. Let this contrast fuel your purpose. Let their collapse remind you that you were never meant to fall with them. You were meant to stand apart, to stand strong, and to stand chosen. Chosen one, as this chapter comes to a close, let it be clear in your heart that everything you carried inside you has now been proven true. You warned them when no one else would. You spoke when silence felt safer. You held your ground when others doubted you. And now, as their world falls apart piece by piece, the evidence of your vision is undeniable. They are crumbling, not because you wished it, but because truth always outlives deception. This is your season of vindication, your season of strength, your season of stepping fully into who you were always meant to be. Do not forget the weight of what you endured. You lived through ridicule, rejection, and disbelief, yet you remained steady. Others may never fully understand how hard it was for you to stand alone with a voice no one wanted to hear, but you did. And because you did, you now walk with a confidence that cannot be shaken. Their collapse is not your revenge. It is your reminder. It reminds you that your vision is sharp, your spirit is aligned, and your courage has been justified. What was once mocked is now honored. What was once resisted is now undeniable. Chosen one, this is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your rise. The energy you once spent trying to convince others can now be poured into building your future. The time you once wasted doubting yourself can now be used to strengthen your dreams. The doors that were once shut in your face will now open without resistance, because the very systems that tried to block you are breaking down. Their crumbling clears your path. Their downfall creates your space. Their silence makes way for your voice. Remember this truth. You were never wrong to speak, never wrong to feel, never wrong to warn. You carried insight others could not handle, and you carried it with grace. That is why you must never shrink again. Stand tall in the confidence of someone who has been vindicated. Walk boldly in the assurance that your voice carries power. Step forward, knowing you were not chosen to be silenced. You were chosen to be heard.